Hello, welcome back to Comicflip. Today is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. It is another new comic book day. It seemed like a lighter week, which is actually good for me because, you gotta let the wallet cool down every once in a while. But let's jump into the books and I'll show you what I picked up for this week. Starting off with the indies from Ahoy Comics, we have Second Coming #1. This is written by Mark Russell and illustrated by Richard Pace. So the whole concept behind this book is that Jesus Christ returns to Earth and realizes his teachings have been distorted, so he teams up with a Superman-like hero to rediscover his inner Messiah. And this book is kind of interesting because initially DC was supposed to publish, but due to some conservative backlash, they actually ended up dropping the title, and Ahoy Comics took over the rights. Up next from Dark Horse, we have Critical Role's Vox Machina Origins, Issue 1, Volume 2. This is from the YouTube show Critical Role, where they play Dungeons & Dragons. You have Grog on the cover here. The cover is actually done by Fiona Staples, who does the Saga covers. The trade of this is coming out in summer 2020. If anyone's a fan of the show, they should definitely pick this up. From Image Comics, we have Unearth #1. This is written by Cullen Bunn, illustrated by Baldemar Rivas. The synopsis is: a scientific task force traces a flesh-eating disease to a cave only to discover a hostile ecosystem and a supernatural revelation. This might be good for anyone who's recently mourning the loss of The Walking Dead. Also from Image Comics, we have Unnatural #11, which is something I've been following from issue 1. At this point, if you're not on board with this book, I definitely recommend you pick this up during the trade. It's an interesting read. I went with the Mirka Andolfo cover. She is the writer and creator and artist of this book. From Vault Comics, we have Test #1, which is something that came out last week, but my shop didn't get it in. They got it in for me this week. This is written by Christopher Sabella, illustrated by Jen Hickman. The synopsis is: a town out of time, full of mysteries and populated by guinea pigs, in need of liberation by the misfit, least likely to be their savior. This is cover A. There is a different cover. I actually like the other cover better, but that was sold out. Seems like an interesting read. Let me know if you guys want me to do a review of this book. My recap review on Arrow #1 is also coming soon. Moving on to DC, we have Naomi #6. This was the only DC book I picked up this week. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis, illustrated by Jamal Campbell, and in here you have a first full appearance of Zimbardo, and it is also the final issue of this season 1, they're calling it, of Naomi. She is going to play a part. She's connected into the DC universe, so I would urge everyone to pick up any floppy issues you could get. I mean, in the 6 issues, there's a bunch of first appearances. You get her origin story. Issues 3, 4, and 5 deal with her origin story, and issues 1 and 2, you have major first appearances. Moving on to Marvel, we have Amazing Spider-Man #25. This is an oversized issue. You have 60 pages of Spider-Man, so you're going to pay a little bit more. I believe it's a $7.99 cover price. This is written by Nick Spencer, illustrated by Ryan Ottley, and this is actually year 2 of Nick Spencer's run on Spider-Man. How are you guys feeling about the first run he had? Did you guys enjoy it? Overall, I thought it was okay, kind of a slow burn. Next, we have Invisible Woman #1, which is written by Mark Waid, illustrated by Adam Hughes. This is the first solo limited series featuring the Invisible Woman. Couldn't pass this up. I went with the variant cover because it looks like she's disappearing on this cover. I liked it more than cover A. Next up, we have Miles Morales Spider-Man #8. In here you have the first appearance of the Assessor. This is written by Saladin Ahmed and illustrated by Patrick O'Keefe. I also really like the cover on this book. Miles Morales Spider-Man has been having a lot of first appearances crop up in these first few issues. So if you haven't, I'd go back and get them, especially the first appearance of Starling, who turns out to be the granddaughter of the Vulture. Definitely get that one. That's going to be a minor key. Another one of my favorites, we have Venom #16. Donny Cates is back writing. Joshua Cassara does the illustrations. This book is up there with Immortal Hulk to me. If you're not reading Venom, I feel sorry for you, and you should fix that. Watching Eddie Brock tackle fatherhood has been fascinating, and I'm interested to see where Dylan goes in the future. Absolute Carnage is dropping in August, so you have some time to catch up. Speaking of Carnage, let's talk about Black Cat #2 here. On your left, we have the Carnage-ized variant done by Mark Brooks. Absolutely gorgeous. And then on your right is the cover A done by J. Scott Campbell, but it is the red splatter title variant, which indicates that there's an additional 1-page tie-in to Absolute Carnage. Definitely pick up Black Cat if you can, and definitely hop on the back issues of Venom. Next, we have Wolverine and Captain America Weapon Plus #1. This is a one-shot that originally was not on my pull list, but I saw the cover, has 2 of my favorites on it, Wolverine and Cap,
and I had to pick it up. So this book expands on the connection between the Weapon Plus and Super Soldier programs. It also has the first mention of Weapon XXX. This is written by Ethan Sachs and illustrated by Scan, and what I've been told, unfortunately, the cover does not happen in the actual book, which is a slight disappointment, but I'm very excited to jump into this one. Another one I'm very excited about is Wolverine vs. Blade #1. This is another one-shot. This is written by Mark Guggenheim, illustrated by Dave Wilkins, and I've heard the art inside is absolutely beautiful. I love the cover with the deep reds and the moon in the background. It also has a parental advisory warning on the cover, so you know it's gotta be bloody. I'm so excited to read this one. Moving on to True Believers, these are reprints of classic comic books. They only cost $1. On your left, we have X-Men #1, which is the first team appearance of the X-Men, and you have your first appearance of Cyclops, Jean Grey / Marvel Girl / Phoenix, first appearance of Iceman, Angel, Beast, Professor X, and Magneto. The original first print copy, it's going to cost you about $25K. Mid-grade, about $4K, and low grade, about $1K. I once had the opportunity to buy a first print for like $20, and I totally passed it up, and I've hated myself ever since. On your right, we have True Believers Carnage #1, but that book is actually Amazing Spider-Man #361, which is your first full appearance of Carnage, so as you can imagine, we're having the Absolute Carnage event that's coming up. People are going to flock to this book. To get a first print copy that is high grade, it's going to cost you about $80, mid-grade about $25, and low around $10. That's it for this week for me, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you picked up. Let me know what I missed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.